Hello, everyone. It is the Afterparty, Season 51, Episode 15. Host, Harry Styles. Musical guest, Harry Styles. I'm Kevin Turner. That's Jesse Kubanet. We do this show every week. We will continue to do this show. We got a lot of crap to talk about this week. But we shall start by reviewing the episode because it's going to probably take, this thing's going to jump all over the place eventually. But let's do the episode first. I watched it a little bit delayed Saturday night. How did you watch it and when?
I watched it today via YouTube TV recording, which has not been working super well for me lately. I don't know why. My preference is live. I do become a bit of a sleepy bear. Was not able to watch it this weekend. Oscar Sunday, so spent a lot of time watching the Oscars. Shout out to Conan, always welcome on the pod. Should he ever want to come? But no, I watched it today, kind of like mid-afternoon, which is an odd time to watch it. Really liked it though. I think it's interesting. I know a lot of people watch it. They digest it in different ways. Some people just watch the clips of it. Maybe like people are watching, a sketch at their computer or something during work. It is interesting when you watch it on a Monday afternoon cold, like for the first time. Mm-hmm. Saturday night is just, I don't know. I've always been a Saturday night watcher of the show, and definitely my preference just wasn't in the cards this week. But I think I would have liked it more having watched it live on Saturday night. But I really liked this episode in general. I was really impressed by Harry Styles. That's not me saying I didn't dislike any aspect of the show. I just think it played perfect for a Saturday Night Live episode.
I thought so too, and I should probably just say I am pretty biased going into this. I was probably going to be leaning towards the positive side no matter how the episode went. I think I would be fair about it. But so my wife's favorite music artist is, Harry Styles. So, she goes back to the One Direction days. When I was not listening to a lick of pop music in those times. B, just seeing what Harry did last time he hosted, though, I knew he had it in him. And then to see what he did in this episode, I was very pleased. And it's starting to feel like we can enter him into this category of some of the names we've talked about this year of like Sabrina Carpenter and Ariana Grande as, okay, dude, you're just going to be like a regular who keeps cycling back through, and that'd be just fine by me.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, we're saying a lot early, but yeah, I was kind of blown away. I did not have time to go back and watch his first go round, and was just kind of like blown away and was super impressed by him this time. And I also think we started Rocky this season. A lot of new people, a lot of new writers, a lot of change, a lot of turnover. I think this cast is just really welcoming, and like there's a few little nuggets that I want to hit on at certain elements, but like to jump ahead to good nights, like Tommy Brennan's reaction when Harry Styles said good nights and wrapped up, like he was super excited. Harry then went and like immediately hugged Jeremy.
Crazy, man.
And then there were a couple other like little things sprinkled throughout that I was just like, oh, this group is really cool. I'd be bummed if like when a tell-all book comes out about a sports team and it's like, oh yeah, they all like hated each other. I'd be bummed if that were the case with
like
this
the
cast.
Old days of SNL.
Yeah, because this cast seems like really fun, and I think they were off of a really strong high week of a Gosling, and we got a little Gauze in there too. Yeah, it was just really good, and going right into this cold open was, I thought it was great. I think what they're doing with everything going on right now is really smart and fun, most importantly.
Yeah, and I'm glad they did something different too than just opening up on a podium with Trump or a headset. So you got Mikey, and you got Ashley and Marcelo and Sarah, and they're the family on a road trip, and they're debating how high gas prices have gotten. I really laughed when Ashley does inform Marcelo and Sarah, "Hey, we're gonna have to leave one of you behind." Like it's such an extreme jump. Like the gas prices have been up for like 10 days now, and they're already like, "One of
We
you
gotta
is
leave one.
leaving you to the wolves." And
What
then
my
oh, go
only
ahead.
bummer about this and this is the bummer of watching it not a day late but 2 days late is this was spoiled for me where I saw a still of James Austin Johnson's Trump like in front of them and then in what I would just assumed was a freeze frame. So I mean that was a little bit of a spoiler. I probably would have seen it coming anyway, but I'm like, oh, here we're gonna get the freeze frame. But I think it's great. Like again, get him out of the space. I know we're all sick of Trump. We've got a lot longer to go, unfortunately. But like, it's fun for them to get him out of the normal spaces that they're in. They're clearly having a lot of fun with Hegseth. Hegseth is um, in the general, like he's going to be a flash in the pan. I think, like as all these,
Yeah,
like the Sean Spicers and stuff. Like Colin will not do Hegseth forever. Like these people just don't last long in these positions. So I think they're really riding that while they can. And the way they did this, like he gets out of the family car, surrounded by empty Budweisers. Why is he in the car? Like no answers to um, any of the questions, no answers to Iran. It's funny what I liked about this, and we'll get to it, but it's what I didn't like about the pit pre-tape. It's funny, like my likes about this cold open, could very easily say what I liked about the pit
yeah,
sketch. But I just thought this was fun. I think they're doing a good job of using Colin to battle Trump fatigue, and making this a fun open again with I think a fun cast. This was like we did not get a ton of Andrew Dismukes in this episode,
yeah.
but you got a ton of other people that we really like. Like you and I love Jeremy. This is a great episode for the Jane Hive, which is just us.
I
But
don't know, man. I think it might be starting to grow
it
now.
might be growing a little bit. She was great, great episode for her. But yeah, I thought this was fun, and again, I'm just like so impressed by Harry Styles. That's what I'm coming away with from this episode, and I'm a fan of his music too. But like, yeah, like he was excellent in this episode.
Yeah, real quick, I just want to finish on the cold open. I just want to say, like, they've been struggling, I think, a little bit, and not fully. And I don't really have any better ideas, but like with how to use other cast members outside of making them press reporters asking questions
Mm-hmm.
to the political person in question up at the podium. So I got a little, and I can't remember if it was season 49 or if it was last year. I did think they used the freeze frame bit. They started kind of heavily leaning on that
Mm-hmm.
like 3 or 4 times. And they had not done this in a while. In fact, I'm not even sure if they've done it yet this season. And another way that they're keeping Trump fresh is by going full meta with it. It's inside and
Yeah.
it's for us, but like when he called when he made the joke about Marcelo still having to play a kid, and then he said he's SNL's little chihuahua, and then admits that it's racist.
So
That's
it is
very
this.
funny.
I say racist stuff, and then Ashley Padilla, whiter than white, um,
And they're both
haircut.
laughing.
Yeah, and he references her sketches. Yeah, it's
Haircut.
great. Yeah,
It's just for us, but
it really is.
this is the type of thing I think maybe I don't want to give like too much credit because you never like really know, but like maybe I get the feeling in my head this type of thing Lauren would not have allowed pre 2010,
Oh,
2005. Like this is
yeah.
a you know, this is the inmates running the asylum a little bit, I think, which I think makes it better.
What's interesting about that, and to bring in a little bit of the Oscars from Sunday, and I think Conan does such a great job with those in a hard room. And like Kimmel's talked
Yeah.
about it. I can't remember if Kimmel talked about it with Conan, but like it's the worst room ever because like the front row center people are like they're the biggest movie stars in the world. They like only care about themselves. So I thought Conan's jokes were better than the reception he got. And he got some big laughs on a couple things, but he even did a joke referencing like appealing to a younger audience, and he looks to the camera as like, yeah, the younger audience watching network television, and then like smiled and had like
So
a tooth
good.
gleam. Because yeah, they're not watching this. So the people who are watching this Saturday Night Live, like they're already bought in. I had lunch with a friend who has kids who are, I think, like 9 and like 11, 12 years old, somewhere in there, and talking about how like funny they are. And I was like, they're in the pocket to start watching Saturday Night Live. Those are the like new viewers you're gonna get, are people who are probably our age or have kids or are like aunts and uncles who are like just gonna pass SNL on. You might get the stray kid who's like finding it on their own. Like I remember my first SNL watch, I think it was like a Drew Barrymore episode. And I think I turned to my mom and I was like, so is she just like on this show? And she's like, no. There's like, it's a different host like every week and they rotate. And I like couldn't understand it. And then lo and behold, the next week there's a brand new show, new person.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this is amazing. But yeah, like it's definitely, it's all for us. It's for them. They're not going to like, I think, grow exponentially in viewership, but like they are going to
Well, their
make
reach is
stuff online.
the reach is still very good.
Yeah.
Okay, as is. Plus, what they're doing online to expand it, they're really trying to capture a younger audience in a way that they had never really done pre Lonely Island. And that's a easy cop out thing for me to say, is just to straight go to them. I mean, there's other things probably, but social media, when Lonely Island started, social media was not that big of a deal. We're talking MySpace.
Yeah.
So like this is like an opportunity.
YouTube was a kernel of a thing.
Yeah.
It like wasn't even close to what it was.
No.
A lot of people talk about they went to YouTube because someone sent them Lazy Sunday.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's probably what I was on YouTube for.
One of the first big videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the monologue. So this is where you get your kind of first opportunity for everyone who doesn't know Harry Styles to see what this guy's about. Again, he hasn't hosted for 6 years. Everyone's heard the name. How well do people know him? I don't know. He is not an exuberant, off-the-wall ball of energy until it's time to do that.
Yeah.
And so like you get him here and he's talking quietly and he's doing his thing. And I was like, that sounds like Harry to me. But I liked what they did with this, and I liked that they kept it relatively quick as well.
Yeah, I think I think he did an excellent job through this. Obviously, the audience is eating out of the palm of his hand. Very Ryan Gosling in that, like, yeah, this guy is a pop star for a reason. Like, he's good at what he does. He's had audiences screaming and going crazy since he was like, I don't know how old they were when they were doing One Direction, but like, I thought the ecstasy joke was funny. Him leaning into like he's probably a little bit like he got into jogging, which is again not interesting at all unless people like are also runners. I just thought the energy was fun through the whole thing. One thing that I thought was really interesting, and we should probably just get her name, but it's the guitar player in the house band. She is over the host's left shoulder when they're talking. So it's like, there's like the saxophone guy on the right. She's always very visible.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got a pretty stoic look. And I think even Skarsgård commented on it when he was like, going up and talking to him. She was grinning ear to ear the whole time. And so it was like, and I just don't notice that often. Like I do watch that sometimes when I'm seeing, how the band is reacting to the host. Like for Shane Gillis, like she didn't react positively the entire way. And a lot of them don't. And sometimes even for like other comics or hosts, it just like does not move the needle in any way, shape, or form. She was a Cheshire cat.
Music person.
For that whole thing. Yeah, music person. So probably a fan.
Maybe that.
And also I think another thing that's really cool that we've talked about a little bit, and I'm noticing it more and more, is I really love the bumpers they're doing. And this is why I like watching it on the recording or live.
Me too.
When you miss this on Peacock, but like the bumpers in between commercial breaks, we were watching them set up the sets. There was a really cool one before his first musical performance where it was him walking out to go to the stage,
Yeah.
which like we rarely get to see. I think that's really cool. I don't know if they're still doing it on Kimmel, but that was a real thing where um, a lot of these studios are super small. I've never been to 8H before, but that's like kind of the biggest thing. Like the Kimmel studio is very small. He comes out to do the monologue, anything in the beginning. Then they bring in his desk. Like Seth and Fallon's, the desk is there. Traditionally, like that's usually how it is. They do their monologue at a spot. Kimmel's like doing his monologue, and then they set the desk up 4 feet behind him.
Yeah.
But it's tiny. And then like I've been on the Jeopardy set, I've been on the Wheel of Fortune set. The Jeopardy set is like super, super small. And I think 8H is like pretty small too. But what they were doing for a while at Kimmel was they were showing them set up the desk and everything behind him. And then Jimmy, that's when he talks to the audience. I know Seth puts it on Instagram where he goes into the crowd and he like, takes questions. Jimmy will talk to the audience from his spot as they're setting everything up, and he always makes a joke about how they're, oh look, my furniture's here. So if you ever go to one of those, like that is how that is. But I just think that's like a fun piece of this. Like if you like this show, if you like TV, if you like this kind of thing, that to me is a little bit of the like what we lost with DVD extras going away, where you miss the deleted scenes, the extra bits. So I just think that I don't like to your point of I don't think they would have let it be that self referential in the sketches, and then like the way they're shooting this right now is fun. Like there's something to it, and I don't know what it is, but it's fun to watch.
Well, like they're not there yet because they still want people watching on network TV, but they're going to get to a point probably where they'll start offering up things once or twice a year where they'll just kind of do, hey, we're going to do the camera on the host through all of it, and we'll put it on YouTube as a live stream.
Yeah.
They'll probably start doing that. We're not quite there. Like that's the type of thing that they were kind of getting though, him walking up. Usually you see him there warming up or they're just standing there. And he was, you could tell, just the busy guy, the double duty guy, drinking a little water and then running up there. So I thought that was neat. Let's move on. First sketch out of the gate, new lawyer, Sebastian Maniscalco. We'll let you start. What were your thoughts here?
So really like the start. Very standard courtroom setup here. Sebastian Maniscalco was that this season? The first one?
That was Glenn Powell. Right? Yeah.
Okay, so not that long ago.
It was episode, I can get the date for you even.
I'm always a little trepidatious. They did this with Lisa from Temecula. And Ego, absolute banger of a sketch where she's cutting the like supremely well done steak and the drinks are spilling and everything. But they brought it back too quick and it wasn't as good. I think the way they set this up, and this is such a fun thing in comedy, and we talked about this with Cray Tray last week of the like, and now this, and they like tell you what it is. It was with the sketch where like they just had, they were reading the notes for the first time. They like told you what it was. Very early in, just a heads up, your lawyer is Sebastian Maniscalco. And then like the way he comes in, I think it was great. I think the, again, good episode for the Jane Hive. Her reading it back in her Jane way was great. His delivery was good. Harry was fighting for his life during it, which was great. And I did not see the turn coming. And to your point of he's not that guy, and that was kind of the monologue. He has one yell moment in the monologue, which was like a fun break. And then this sketch kind of sets up the entire episode where Harry is really playing against anything that I've ever seen him. And again, I didn't get to watch his previous hosting again as a refresher, but I love the turn. I think typically I would not like Sebastian coming back this soon. I think it was really silly, really well done. Keenan loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
The stenographer bit was good. I can't draw him because he keeps moving. I liked it. It surprised me. If you told me what this was, I'd be like, oh, that's a little soon. I
Oh,
liked it.
dude. I mean, this happened 4 months ago, almost to the day, November 15th, Glenn Powell episode, where they were on the bachelor party. And one of his friends is Sebastian Maniscalco. So I'm going to sound like a hypocrite because last week I didn't really love that they put the graphic on there that says these notes have been changed since rehearsal. I did love that they said your defense attorney is world famous comedian Sebastian Maniscalco because
Yeah.
people I just don't think, all of America knows who he is. In fact, I think if we went to the mall, okay, and I think if we stopped 100 people, how many people would know who Sebastian Maniscalco was? I think it would be I think it would be like a fourth, and
What's
maybe less,
interesting about that,
dude.
though, is my uncle, who's not an SNL watcher, he's like probably, if he's not in his early 70s, he's in his late 60s. He went and saw Sebastian Maniscalco when like he was in Buffalo when he came through. And so like he knows who Sebastian Maniscalco is, but like would have no idea who Marcelo Hernandez is,
Yeah,
or probably Harry Styles. And he will probably never see this sketch unless he scrolls through it on Facebook. So, but I think you're right. Like if you ask a random kid, that's where I think it was smart to have Keenan be kind of giddy about it because like that's closer to what Sebastian's audience is.
yeah.
And then there was also, I don't know if you caught it because it like wasn't a part of it, and I think it maybe was, and there was maybe a miscue, but like Jeremy was the bailiff.
Yes.
What was that? It was like a weird like Keenan like played with his mouth or something.
Because he goes like, ooh, he was doing that type of thing when Harry got dunked on for a minute, and then Keenan kept trying to shut him up. And then you could tell that Keenan and Jeremy looked at each other like, yeah, that was pretty funny what we just did. So that was probably an extra move. The other thing I want to say is like Sebastian Maniscalco coming back, it's good. Like Marcelo doing it is good. And this is to me, like might be one of the best ways to use Marcelo. I think like if he's a big ball of energy, so just let him jump around for a minute. That's great. But like if you're going to keep doing a sketch based around an impression, which we don't get a lot of those, I'm cool with it. And I think if they keep moving it around, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like
how long
they found a way to put it in a courtroom. What next? A classroom? What do we, keep moving that around. And I think the setting changing makes it different because this is not the Barry Gibb talk show. Like this is, this is different. So,
because they could put him in a lot of different places. So I think, all right, first one was bachelor party, works. Then, courtroom. I think your doctor. Therapist, a counselor as well. I think substitute teacher works. They do classroom stuff a lot. I think he could be like your new fire chief, your new police chief. And I'm trying to think of other setups that you can use for him. But my wonder is of all that was like 9 right there.
How about a coach?
Yeah, your coach. Your coach is coming in. But when does Sebastian join him? Is
Sebastian
that number 3?
Maniscalco was tweeting about it and posting it out there.
Because it's coming.
Said he loved it.
If it's this year or next season. Like I think we get a Sebastian Maniscalco sketch once a year, as long as Marcelo is on. Like this is in his DVD. If they still do the best of DVDs, like this is in Marcelo's DVD for sure.
It's just weird because Sebastian Maniscalco to me. I just looked it up. He's a 52-year-old comedian who was never one of the top tier comedians to the public view. So like, he's not like a guy you would bring in to host most likely. And if you were, I think you'd be like, well, they're doing it just for that. Like it'd be too obvious almost.
Yeah.
So like,
I
there's
remember
something
him from Last Comic Standing. So he's like that level. And like another comic that I love, because there's some big people that did Last Comic, like Gary Gulman is one of my all-time favorite comedians. Like he got not his start, but like his bigger break was like Todd Glass was on that same season, Alonzo Bowden, Kathleen Madigan, comedy hitters. But yeah, Sebastian probably isn't a hosting comic. He could be, he had a few movie swings that didn't really hit. But it's certainly at some point we're gonna get it's his dad, or I hope it's not an update, because the thing with this is the
Yeah.
physicality. I almost wonder. It'd be interesting to know if this started as an update piece and they were like, "It's too good."
Whole room. Yeah.
His body is so good, and I think after the first one, someone posted on Instagram. It was like a shot of him doing it at the table read, and he was like his seat was kind of in the corner, and it's obviously very like packed in there, but he's doing the full, you know, physicality of it all. But I thought it was just great. And then Harry really like launches in this one, and I think just he was so good. I was so surprised
I don't want to take
in a wonderful way.
I don't take anything away from Harry. I will say audience was a very pro Harry crowd. And as a guy who did try to frantically get on the 10 a.m. standby to try to alter plans and fly up there and get in, I mean, the site was crashing within minutes. Like it was impossible. So I mean, it was all a bunch of Harry Styles crazy.
It was a very pro Harry crowd, and then a very pro, in the same way, very pro Marcelo crowd, very pro Ben Marshall crowd.
Okay.
Because of I think the youngness of it, and Ben Marshall is a little bit of like
he's a little hot boy.
He's a little hot boy now.
I mean, we didn't talk about the kiss. He's now in the monologue. I mean, dude, he's kissing every hot male host.
Yeah.
It's like a thing now.
Yeah. His butt, showing his butt.
Showing his biscuits off.
His biscuits.
Let's get some honey on those biscuits.
Yeah. Which is not like, I mean, I don't think you look at Please Don't Destroy, and I don't think you assume that's what's going to happen. It'll be really interesting to see where, John goes, who's not with the show anymore, but like Martin's clearly killing it. When he's making his short films, Ben's great. We need a little bit more Ben, because we get Ben as Ben in these moments, and like they're kind of playing themselves in the Harry Styles like Target line a little bit later. They're not themselves, but like they're pretty damn close to who they are. We haven't gotten a lot of like Ben Marshall away from himself in a little while.
I will tell you though, this is where we go to the pre-tape. Ma Hospital. And you've already done some foreshadowing here.
Mm-hmm.
But I found this to be, if I had to wager money on this was written by Ben Marshall, because we have the play on words in the title, and he was the star of this.
Yeah. Aside from Harry, I would agree. And I think here's the thing with this one. I think this is the weakest of the night in a strong night. So it's not saying it wasn't bad. This one to me feels like, and this is the going against from the monologue, what they're doing and saying in it this is kind of like what got me with Kimmel stuff when they would do, like, I could see this being a Kimmel sketch as well. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's the Trey Parker, Matt Stone of like when you moon the principal and the principal moons you back. It's just like, what? Like, that's not what's supposed to happen. They're just like saying things that like are said and are real. Like, obviously being in a hospital setting of like, this man's having a heart attack, let's get him some steak. Like, they need more raw milk. But it's just like, oh, this is just what these people think, feel, do. And so they're just kind of saying it and like putting it in the pit. I'm not a huge Pit fan. I've only watched like an episode of it. So I think it was really well done. I think it was funny. But to me, a little bit of it was just like, oh, you're just like saying the things that like these people say, like that RFK says. And yeah, like even bringing the bear in, it's like, yeah, he does that.
That's what he is.
Yeah, everything was just what it was.
So here's one thing that I wrote down in my notes, though, that I thought was interesting. The way this thing escalates, or not escalates, the way this thing starts is it's got Ben, Jeremy, Veronica, Tommy. You're going to get Cam as a patient in this. Okay. So all 5 new cast members prominently featured. Ashley's got a very tiny role in this, but this is mostly, and then Harry, this is mostly the new cast doing this.
That is true. I didn't really clock that. It pretty much was all the young pups.
It was all the rookies and getting all the play. I did love the line where he said that Ben Marshall says that his parents died because of the
Yeah.
COVID vaccine. And he's like, yeah, they got it, so I shot him.
Unplugging the vegans life support's
I
funny.
mean,
Yeah, like this is funny. It's funny and it was good. It'll do well. You know, like it'll probably do well on, it'll get shared around a lot, it'll get memed. People love the pit, people love, shitting on RFK.
so
A
one
plus
thing
B.
at the end of the year, we'll probably do an episode where we rank our top 10 sketches or whatever. I also, maybe we'll do a thing where we just look and see what sketches scored the most YouTube hits. It'll take a little research. We can get it
Oh
done,
yeah, I'd
and kind of
honestly
put it in
be
order.
very interested to see what gets, high numbers like that.
And I think you and I just kind of go in here with our own opinions on this, and then whatever we see throughout the week. I want to add, because we're recording this on Monday. Sometimes we record these on Sundays. I want to give one other review on this from Esquire, a magazine I don't read. SNL's The Pit parody is the best sketch we've seen in a long time. So they loved it.
And like I think that's
The
what it
Pit
is. So like
fans.
Esquire and any of those that like review shows, movies, TV, sketch shows, it crosses over. Like people love the Pit. And so
Yeah.
then like where do people lean, like when RFK is doing crazy stuff, like probably further a little bit left. So like you bring all that together, like you're making this ridiculous and then you bring it over. So you take it of me of just like everything they do is already insane. And so then, yeah, you just put it in the Pit. Like I get it. And like my hospital's like, oh, yeah, I get it. It was solid, but like the episode was so good. That's where like this was the weak spot for me.
Is it?
But like a good weak spot to have when it's like a solid sketch.
I think that's a new segment, is the weak spot and the G spot.
Yeah.
And that's your weak spot of the episode. I'll tell you mine in a minute. Let's go to Sparkle of the Sea.
I mean,
Sparkle of the Sea. This is fun to me.
It's hard for me to pick. I was gonna say, like, is this the G spot immediately after this? Again, so Harry doing a Sebastian, then like he was great, and everybody was great in the Pit parody. By the way, like if I didn't like fully drive that home, that it was good. Every acting wise, everyone was excellent.
It was just a little chaotic and scattered. I'm with you on that.
He's a good actor, and I like this was a great Chloe Fineman. We're not huge Chloe fans. This was just really, really fun. I wrote down that Harry's in his element. We get a Jean K. Jean, which is great. Goose and Lietke. I wrote down very strong episode for the Jeremy and Jane Hive. That was in my notes here. A cruise is just like being in a hotel, but you can drown. Really good. And it's funny. Have you ever been on a cruise before?
I've not.
So I've done one with my family, and like we had a good time. And everybody, like, if cruises are your jam, more power to you. I'm always like, best case scenario, you get diarrhea at this point. Like everybody that goes, they always
new story today.
Like, they always get like norovirus.
Yeah.
Like minimum now. So it's like, okay, we have a great time, we get diarrhea. Or I watch like cruise deaths was like a very hot documentary thing, like last summer or something.
Well, that was the Pooh Cruise too documentary.
So diarrhea. And then, so I watched that, and then I watched like two, I think, other Netflix documentaries about people like going missing at cruises.
Yeah.
And there was the one, I can't remember what it was called, but like it was like very hot in the streets. Everybody was talking about that one lady who went missing on a cruise, and like, is she missing? Is she alive or is she dead? So it's just like, that's what's happening on a cruise. But you get this, they hit everything that a cruise has. It's just really fun physicality. Harry's great in this.
He was perfect.
He was so good. And I think it's just, I don't know, because as the lawyer in the courtroom sketch, he's pretty close to himself. He's almost wearing exactly what he was wearing during the monologue. He's just wearing a suit. But this one, I think you put him in like there's something about the separation with like the wig and the costume that like allows him to fully get into this weird, wacky character. It was like a Will Ferrell sketch, man. He crushed this.
he went from straight man in the lawyer sketch to the pre-tape where he's the authoritative figure, kind of the boss, into being kind of your lead guy. And that's why he started going like, this is where you, and even like when he did turn after the straight man in the Sebastian Maniscalco sketch, just the way he moved and did all that, I just went, that's Justin Timberlake. That's what that is.
Yeah,
That's what that
yeah.
could
And
be.
then this is very Barry Gibb talk show
Yeah.
energy, but like better. Like
Better
he
Mikey
did a
Day's
better
magic
job.
trick. So good.
Is
Good
that
night
is
for Mikey Day.
great night for Mikey Day. The magic trick one. I'm glad you brought that up because there was I need to rewatch this sketch. Will be a rewatch for me, probably a lot because of just how there's so much in it that like I was just excited to see Jean K. Jean because I think Keenan's been doing that since like all that.
Dude, he has
Um,
not done that in like over a decade though. And it's only been
yeah,
used on Weekend Update.
yeah. He comes out on update, but the magic trick one, the way people were reacting to that is that you remember there were a couple that they did over the last like year or two that was like a very niche something on TikTok. Is that one of those that are you aware of that at all? I don't know.
I'm not aware. So if it is,
The
I would
the
like to know.
audience reaction to me made me think that it might have been, or they could have just been all about it. And like the what did Harry call him? He's like the edging magician.
Yeah, he said edging. He takes you up to the brink. The edging magician. That's very good. And
I mean, I'm looking down at like what we have for the rest of this episode. Um, I mean, these are all bangers.
okay.
Like, pretty much every sketch was
Well,
a banger.
uh, okay. Oh, real quick, I have to say I love the watermelon sugar cover. And then when the guy says I didn't much care for it, when Harry says he didn't much care for his own song,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love when people do that.
I do too.
Um,
It's simple, but it works every time.
I mean, I'm the old sketch a long time ago, uh, but it's my hero. Dave Matthews is playing Ozzy Osbourne, and it's the Mellow Show, right? So Bill Hader is Dave Matthews, and Jason Mraz is the host, and it's Jack Johnson is the host, is Andy Samberg, and
Wow, that's such a
but
sketch of those guys at that
yeah,
time.
yeah, and Golden Era for sure, right? And
Absolutely.
but Dave Matthews is just as Ozzy Osbourne shitting on Bill Hader's Dave Matthews. So
That's excellent.
like I love that. And so that's always, that'll stick with you, of course. So yeah, thought it was good and fun to my weak spot of the night.
Interesting.
And
Mr.
does
Pooty.
not mean I hated it. But my weak spot of the night is this. The Best Buy meeting.
Mr.
We've got
Pooty.
some reward points. We're now using Veronica as like a just say crazy lines and be the spaz, which we could see from that one sketch where she's hanging out with the guys watching football.
Yeah.
But she only got one line to do it instead of a whole sketch. This time it actually worked really good.
It was so great because they come in. It's very much like the Bobby Moynihan and Cecily Strong, where they'd be getting fired, or there'd be a team meeting. They did a Barnes and Noble. They did probably a Best Buy. I think they did like a Pizza Hut or something. But like and they just like shit all over everybody that works there. It's kind of a full cast piece. That's what I think we're getting here based on this. Then you get Veronica says something weird about points, and everyone's like, "Yeah, thanks," whatever her character's name was. And then we get Mr. Pooty. And it's Keenan, and I think it's rare that we get a full Keenan character piece, and it's a lot of nipple play and like sexual tension. His wife dies. His first wife dies in 2-inch deep water in a fountain. Get up, Beth Pooty, I think was her name. This was just really, really fun because it was just a gem. It was a real gem of a Keenan episode. Now, in kind of thinking of it, my guard's up of like, oh no, are we sending Keenan off here by doing a Mr. Pooty and getting a Jean K. Jean? I hadn't thought of that until just now. I hope not. I hope he still just does it as long as he wants. But I liked it. I'm interested why it didn't hit for you. It was very silly.
I mean, Mikey is the straight guy, his perfect role. I actually kind of liked him not being mad about the guys going to hook up.
He has kind of a voice register when he's like a sweet dad,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean? Like he was kind of employing that
Modern Family
here.
Dad guy, kind of.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't love that, and I realized they're just having fun, but I didn't love like the Harry switch when he switched his voice and just kind of started talking in Mr. Pootie's voice.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know why. I just didn't like. I was just like confusing. Like, why is he talking like that now? Again, I'm not here like. Well, yeah, I guess I am poking holes in it. It just wasn't. It was by far actually not even close. My least favorite of the night.
That's interesting. It did have more of a 10-1 energy. And
Mm-hmm.
I get why they ended on what they ended on, because it's kind of like a parade of all of his outfits and stuff. This does feel like one that they moved down,
Yeah,
and
maybe this might have been coming out of the gate, out of rehearsal, and they moved it down. Maybe,
yeah,
but they put it by itself. They didn't, sandwich it with. They put it with a free, a pre-tape and like the other sketch, like that normal first block of three. I mean,
yeah,
growing up, it's crazy. Like growing up really into the last decade, this probably ended about a decade ago, maybe more. Like it would go cold open monologue into your first pre-tape. And this might have been
yeah,
what Lonely Island changed it once they realized, hey, these pre-tapes really allow us to move sets and get everything in
yeah,
order. It just makes our life easier. Hearing the Lonely Island podcast and how they often talk about, we just need a 2-minute thing from you guys. Don't overdo it. We just need it to be 2 minutes. That's all we
yeah,
need to move the sets. So this was by itself, but also at that point time, cold open was a little long, not crazy long, a little long. We go to the musical performances. I want to do this one by one, if you don't mind.
absolutely.
The first one, a song called "Dance No More." Your thoughts?
Obviously ripped both. Gosling intro is great, exciting.
That was cool.
Yeah, I
The payoff is
was
great.
Yeah, really great. I was kind of glad they didn't do because I thought the monologue was fun. That they didn't just reverse engineer and do. I think we would have liked it and it would have been fine. I was kind of glad we didn't. So then the payoff of him just being there um, to intro him is fun. I know that's always kind of the thing. We'll wait to the second one. The second intro is awesome. Ripped both these songs, obviously, just as I'm going to rip next week. Uh, he's great. He's just a fun performer. I don't. Have you seen him live before? I'm sure.
Seen him live once in Austin a few years ago. We'll be seeing him a second time in June. By the way, with Shania Twain opening up for him.
Wow.
What a time.
Let's go, girls.
Oh, yes. Shania Twain, the queen of saying a phrase before the song starts.
I mean, yeah, this was great. My preference was this song over the second one, but what I
Me
like
too.
is give us a little more a little more something at the beginning.
Yeah, and I honestly, and I Coming Up Roses is the second song, and I thought it was a beautiful song and a great performance, and I get why he did it. For me, knowing what's on that album too, I was like, God, I would have loved him just popped another heater out there and we just keep this thing going because the vibe of the episode was so fun.
I'm
So
surprised
like,
there was one that came on, and I'm not as good with the names of like songs and albums and stuff. But there was one that came on just on shuffle when I was driving around the other day, and I was like, oh, this will definitely be one of his songs. It has like kind of a background like choir element to it,
mm-hmm.
which I thought
Aperture.
maybe. I thought I was like, this one feels like you get a crew out there and do it. But no, I mean, he's great, man. He was just a hell of a performer.
Yeah, the new album's dope too. For those who haven't heard it, if you don't care, give it a shot. Or as they said
Yeah.
in the cold open, I don't. As Trump said in the cold open, I don't listen to his new music. I'm straight.
Yeah. I don't. So the last time he hosted, was it the music from a sushi restaurant album? Was he promoting that, or was he just like
No,
being?
it was before. It was the Watermelon Sugar album. It was
Oh yeah, Watermelon Sugar.
2019.
And then the one after that was
Harry's House.
Harry's out, which I love that album.
Great album.
I love that album so much. I
I
think I like that one as it stands right now. I think I like that one a little bit more than this one. But this one, you said it last week, it takes a few listens to get into, and I would agree with that.
This one might be a grower, but I think they're very close and like they're gonna be like it's gonna be hard to choose. I think I'll make a decision on that at some point. But like, yeah, I'm with you. I think this is more of like a more evened out album where Harry's House does have more highs and things like that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of interesting things that are happening on this record that take like multiple listens. Like you just notice, oh wow, I didn't hear that time.
Yeah.
He's just a great performer too. Let's go to the weekend update. Before we get to the features, the jokes were great this week.
Mhm.
And last week on Weekend Update, it was a little awkward. Whatever was going on, like it was just Weekend Update for whatever reason was not great last week. They only had one feature, Pastor Update and the band leader Teddy, which I think we loved.
We did love, yeah.
But because James Austin Johnson can kind of do no wrong at this point. But like just a different vibe, and maybe that's just like the difference in a crowd too. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a good crowd last week though. Like it was a
I think
crowd crazy to see Gosling.
I think a younger crowd, a Harry Styles crowd, they came alive during the second feature, but they're not as plugged in maybe um, to the like current events,
Yeah.
and they're a little more like prone to like shock at a edgier joke, which is what Che and Colin are very good at, especially Che. So sometimes I think like they're not ready for it. It's interesting. Like I think the audience next week, Jack Black and Jack White, I think would like hard jokes will hit like really hard next week.
Yeah, I think so too.
And if it's what's his name, Frankenstein, who hosted Jacob Elordi, I don't think Update lands as hard.
Yeah,
just because of the people who are there.
I agree. And the way they're giving out the standby tickets, like it's not there's like more. It's just like it's easier to get a standby ticket than it was. Now you can get in and you win a drawing, and it's not just waiting in line. You still have to go wait, but if you get the number, you kind of know you're getting in. What's interesting about this to me though is I think like also you have the thing of this is the last of 3 weeks in a row, and then we're off for 3 weeks. So maybe there's that. There's like a fun vibe happening with just the jokes and how Colin and Michael were playing off each other. But now let's go to the first feature, Tucker Carlson, played by Jeremy Culhane. And dude, this was awesome. So awesome that when it was done, Michael and Colin were joking and using one of his catchphrases from a bit he had done 30 seconds ago. Like they started doing, what's the goal? They started like saying that. And I was like, oh my God, the host of Weekend Update are sitting there already making that a catchphrase. Like Tucker Carlson, that'll be back. Like that'll be back in the next 5 episodes, and it should be.
What I wonder about this was, I know you kind of went down a Jeremy rabbit hole when he got fired. Like a lot of his like dropout stuff, other like kind of fun, more like silly avant-garde like character sketches. I don't know if he's done a Tucker. His Tucker's great. And it was not easy, or it was not hard for them to make him look like Tucker Carlson. Just kind of dressed him up a certain way, coiffed the hair a little bit in one way, and it's like, oh yeah, like pretty easy to look like a Republican if you're a white guy. Like there's like 2 things you have to do, and it's like, oh yeah, you look like that. He absolutely nailed this. So good. The laugh was good. They're like, what are we doing? What's the goal?
What's the goal?
The hit of it was great. I think it's really fun to take someone who's so polarizing like that and then just have them talk about movies.
Yeah.
Great decision, great win for Jeremy. Yeah, definitely want this again.
He's coming on strong, man. He's been in a ton of stuff. Rarely, being the star of something. But this is where I do think he will shine, is doing this type of thing, and not so much. I didn't know the impressions were in his bag, so that's a new thing. And honestly, you don't see a lot of impressions on Weekend Update anymore.
Yeah.
It is kind of homegrown characters that they're kind of finding something. So this was good and
Really
kind of
strong.
looked like him a little bit too, just kind of making the face, and maybe the hair was just really good. Um, but just the cadence, all of it was just perfect. It was just perfect, and
The
I know it made
moment
us happy as we're Jeremy fans moving into this year.
the moment they say what it is, the moment he slides out, I was like, "Oh my god." It's been there the whole time. And I don't
Yeah.
know, like maybe they've tried it once or twice. I don't know if it clicked for me immediately. And I wonder if it was that moment too where they're like, "Oh my god, like why is he not playing Tucker
Well,
Carlson?"
this is doable, and because I have not been too critical of their cold open choices because I do think their hands are tied a little bit on what they can do. But like I do believe this gives them another option. Where it's like, yeah, we
Absolutely.
don't have to run Trump back out there to the podium. Let's do something else here. You
Yeah.
can do something with him. So I just we've unlocked something.
It
Alex,
really it felt that way. Yeah, it really felt like, "Oh, how has this not been the thing the whole time?" Like it was an unbelievable immediate fit.
Alex Moffat did Tucker Carlson. It looks like three times: 2019, 2021,
That
2022. So
tracks.
back in the Fox News days for old Tucker Carlson before he went to God knows where to do God knows what. Taking us now to the heart emoji and the aerial tram emoji. Dude, we had a perfect weekend update this week.
Absolutely we did. Really
Amazing.
funny, really, really specific funny jokes. Um, it's funny that Mikey Day followed this, and I think, and again, I hand up, I was wrong about Mikey Day.
I
I
think
was
you
overly
say it every week,
critical
dude.
on
Gives
Mikey Day,
you He
Michael
gives you a
Day.
reason every week to say
He
this what you're
really
doing.
does. I can't believe I ever was because what a season he's having. I also very much love a big brother energy from Mikey Day with these younger cast members, really having fun. Marcelo is a fun break, I think, because
Yeah.
like it's very sincere. The way that they carried each other, giving life to these stupid little things in our phones in emojis. His boys, one of them being just the orange square, the division
Dude, that was
sign.
the first like hard laugh on that whole thing though. It's
Oh
like, wait, so what are
man.
they gonna do? And the orange square is random and never used.
And then I don't know who wrote RBF, but my God, right before flags is it just a humdinger of a joke. Like it really was. This was a great update piece, great jokes. Tucker Carlson, absolute home run. And then yeah, it was like kind of maybe like a double or a triple, and then a home run brings it in, and then the
Dude.
next guy comes up and just hits another home run.
And I mean I'm dying. Every week I dying to know like what was rehearsal like, and I would spend time watching film comparing how was the sketch and then how was it in the live show. Like it's something I would enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Uh, but you get the feeling that Mikey leveled up for the live show.
Yeah,
Like
just the hat kind of like nuzzling
he was
Marcelo's heart costume a little bit.
he was going in a little bit, and yeah, just great. I was sitting there going, okay, and I don't know, we'll see how the summer goes, right? But I might attempt to do another Twitter thread of my top 51 sketches of the year, and I was sitting there going, well, there might be those might be in the top 10 right there, like,
Yeah,
and it's been a great year, but that was just perfect.
those
Both of
were
those features were
bangers.
perfect.
Those are two bangers. I could not agree more. Those are excellent.
White Castle drive through.
I loved loved this sketch.
I knew you would,
I
and I did too.
absolutely loved it. Jane and Veronica have something
Yes.
for sure. They really do. Completely different energies together. They're so fun. They're teens that like maybe you were yourself that you see like you just get who these people were. You get who Harry is. He's the quarterback. This job is not his top priority. He listed all of the things. her delivery, God broke the mold when he made you. That's Jane. And then Veronica, perhaps a kiss for the lady, and maybe on the front. There's one go around. Then later they call him Mr. Burger. Excellent. I'll tell you what I want to ride you to death, of course. Oh my god.
And
It
does your
was it
does your
was so
penis
good.
like they had a question about the penis, but you don't get the word after the penis? Does your
Yeah.
penis
Nope. Drive
uh
around.
also another just example of Ashley kind of being great at everything, being the
Yeah.
problematic White Castle manager. Am I on Impractical Jokers again?
Again, yeah. Very simple thing. Like I can't handle that again. I can't get Impractical Jokers. Harry not being cool guy. No, like this is what I like about this. Like they're being so weird, and they're going around the drive-thru over again. Do you guys want your burgers? Also that like burger's a funny word, right? Like we
Yeah,
like the word burger's good. Mr. Burger, great. Him just asking like, "Don't you want your burger?" Like that's chef's kiss. It's funny. Like they're just so fun together. Perhaps a kiss for the lady, maybe on the front. Really, really got me.
very good.
There was a good about like his ass being the table, and she was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant your ass." Is the she like just restated it again? That was good. Veronica, the physicality that she was doing with that was really, really great. And then what was sweet? So the beginning, it like we don't see this sketch coming. We think it's just going to be like kind of a weird White Castle, like drunk people coming up and down because Keenan's
Yeah,
drunk on his motorcycle and he gets his White Castle. You sure you don't want like? Can you handle this? He comes back later. He's clearly crashes. He drunk drove and crashed his motorcycle, and that's after Harry happily accepts her invitation. Says they're both sixes. It makes him an 11. And then Keenan calls them sevens, which is are out for the sketch. And again, the way they're doing the bumpers, what was really sweet about this is Keenan taps the car and says, "Good job, girls,"
yeah.
as he's walking away. And I thought that was really nice because they crushed this. This
If
is
you
great.
watch Jane and Veronica too, because it's cool to show people how the sketch works too. But Jane and Veronica too just look like the happiest people in the world. Like they just know they did it. Like it was kind of cool,
Yeah,
you
it
know.
was. And I think like they clearly wrote this together. I'm wondering if they
They're
share an
partners now.
office.
I think
Yeah,
that's what's going on, right? Like
yeah,
oh, these people all deserve time to figure this show out. And
yeah.
they don't always get that. And this is why, well, it's half the reason I think you and I jumped on the Jane Hive. Because I don't know. To me, I was just like, you go just come across it on Reddit or something. It's like, okay, she's not deserving of that much hatred. She didn't do anything this week. Like, it's like, why are
Yeah.
people hating on her? She was in one thing.
They're
And now
also
she's in like 4 or 5 things a week. So it's becoming, I would say, problematic for those who have been smack talking Jane for the last couple of years. She's kind of good now.
she's great. And the using her it like she shines in things like this. She shines in the luge sketch.
Yeah, that
She
was good.
is really well utilized in the Sebastian courtroom sketch. Like read
Mm-hmm.
it back. When I saw where she was, and then we get that it's Sebastian, I was like, they're definitely gonna have her read that, right? And she did, and like the way she read it as Jane, excellent. And just then in the Skarsgård, like, hey, stop asking if she knows stuff. Was a that was like what kind of flipped the script for a lot of people for her. And yeah, seeing the two of them because Veronica hasn't had a runaway thing herself yet. She just has this other um fandom behind her from her social media presence and the
Yeah.
sketches that she does there. So she kind of is like grandfathered in with a lot of people and their opinions. And I think Veronica's great too and excellent. And then they all get a little bit of shine here coming up. Um, but I just thought this was great. And you're right. Yeah, like the Keenan good job girls and them being like elated together because like they should be because they crushed this. This was
They did.
really,
They were
really,
really
really
good.
fun, really good. I just keep looking at it because I have it written down, Mr. Burger. I'll tell you what, I want to ride you to death, of course.
drive, 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 drive.
Drive, 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 drive.
Another pre-tape. She's a dancer. Another
Did
one that
not did
Jane and
not see this
Veronica were good
coming.
in.
Did not see this coming. Really funny, really catchy. Felt like a lonely island. Everyone was great in it. Very quiet episode from Dismukes
Yeah.
and James Austin Johnson outside of Trump. But James Austin Johnson in this, like him being like into it, was great.
We didn't mention that in the Sparkle of the Sea, James Austin Johnson's song was pretty great.
Oh,
Sorry for who I am. I'm sorry for what happened. I'm sorry for being me. Can we have sex now? And his face is just very good. But the other thing is on this, they're all confused that they're Irish dancers. Like Harry's confused, Dismukes is confused, Marcello's confused, but James Austin Johnson is intrigued. And it shows his face close up. He's like, oh, I'm kind of into this. And it actually makes sense of the four guys, the four hot boys out there. He's kind of the one that looks more like a dad.
And I think he's got a little Gaelic in him. Like he's speaking Gaelic to her.
Very good. I had no problems with that. I like the part to incorporate the Irish food and how not great Irish food is.
Marcelo thinks he's going to get it. Yeah, I thought like all the girls did great. And then the boys bringing up some Irish. Like I will rewatch this one. It'll probably be a frequent St. Patrick's Day. Oh, let's watch the Irish step dancing thing. It was great.
Love theme stuff. 2 days before St. Patrick's Day or 3 days before St. Patrick's Day on St. Patrick's Day weekend when everyone's partying. I love stuff like that.
And I like the tonal shift. Not like it's not the same level at all, but one of my favorite, probably one of my top Lonely Islands of all time is Jack Sparrow with Michael Bolton. And like the shift of similar shift here where it's like, oh, we're gonna get some, and like Harry's great in it, like poppy. It's like kind of a vibey song, and then it shifts into it's Irish step dancing. It kind of follows that instead of him just doing movies and movies and movies. When they go back to on Lonely Island, like rapping in the club, this goes into Irish folk dancing. But yeah, man, that one was a treat. Really enjoyed it.
At the end of the year too, we'll get to go back and look at some things and find out. We'll try to find out who wrote what and things like that too. Because I always like to find out who wrote things like that. We end the night with Harry for him. Harry has got an exclusive deal with Target, and you can buy his outfits that he's kind of famous for your man at a price they can afford. And it's everyone dressed in ridiculous outfits. Mikey Day's mustache came through again. He had a mustache on in the magic trick. He had a mustache on too as he's wearing the girl's dress.
Yeah. That feels like a wonderful last second, like let's just throw that back on.
Yeah. Well, it's a great thing to move to the end though, because they all have to like wear that to good nights.
Yeah.
So I kind of love that.
I do too.
I thought this was very solid. You know where it was going from the beginning, but I thought the writing was a little clunky at times. There's some things they could have done to kind of make it funnier, but watching all these guys wear these ridiculous outfits and be confused by it, and then Marcelo's actually kind of into it. Dismukes is a little into it. I did like that.
Yeah, James Austin Johnson, it looks like you murdered a woman and then wore her clothes. That was pretty solid.
That's good.
And yeah, it's like this one was fine. I don't know if I get why you end on it. Like, but yeah, the pacing of it's a little weird. It's like one of the ones where they end on it and it's there's like puppies involved or something.
Yeah.
It's like the pacing of this is just off, but you don't care because it's just like, yeah, they're just in Harry's, silly costumes. Overall fine. No issues with it. I think it is set up to have it be just at like good nights, essentially. But yeah, and it's like a good way to, showcase that Harry does. He lets it rip with some costumes. And I mean, that's what we like. I'm a big fan when people absolutely go for it. He went for it this whole episode. The only line I wrote down from this sketch was instead of liar, liar, pants on fire, in England, they say a liar for shame, trousers aflame.
Aflame.
Which is excellent. Just I really appreciated that. It's such a good episode. I forget if we said it or not, but Paul Simon introing him.
Yes.
For song number 2.
Very cool.
Really cool. Good to see that him and Lauren are still best buds.
Same
Um,
height.
this was just such a good episode, top to bottom. Expected nothing less after a Gosling week, and then I think we're going to get an absolute banger
Oh yeah.
on April 4th.
The booking department deserves just a big, and we've talked about this all year. Like Bad Bunny, one of the biggest stars in the world to open up the season, but then knowing you have a new cast and to give them Amy Poehler, in week
Mm-hmm.
2, we know like Sabrina, Ariana Grande, we know they're gonna bring it. They did the things they normally do. We were asking questions early in the season though, and I don't want to like
Yeah, we
remove
were
ourselves from
nervous.
that. Like we were like Miles Teller, okay, like Nikki Glazer makes a lot of sense for that. We've her being a first time host, we kind of thought that would happen at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like we were kind of confused by the Miles Teller thing, and the Josh O'Connor episode was not great and things like that. But it's been a lot of really good episodes. Um, and then this little run right here, they somehow, you don't always see this where they can get 3 episodes, string them together, and that energy stays. And maybe it's just like, hey man, it's springtime in New York is on the way. There's 5 episodes left. The stretch run is here. You've made it through the blizzard and the brutal cold, type thing. Maybe I don't know. But that Ryan Gosling energy from last week did carry over, and a lot of that's just because Harry Styles is a magnetic, figure. But I loved it. I this will be up there, probably a top 5 episode of the season for me.
Yeah,
We'll see at the end. Game ball's gonna be tough here. Might have to saw the game ball in half.
yeah. I think I'm giving it to Jane.
I think it's fine. Jane was great. Mikey was awesome.
It was Jane or Jeremy to me, honestly.
Jeremy, what Jeremy and Mikey did, and a little bit Marcelo should get a little credit there too, because
And
him
Marcelo was excellent. Marcelo was very deserving, honestly.
on that, yeah, with and it kind of in everything too. Honestly, Marcelo
Actually,
was
you know
in
what?
everything.
I'm respect to Jane. Because of Sebastian and then the emoji sketch, I'm gonna give it to Marcelo.
Dude, I've been a little critical of Marcelo, kind of all year, and uh, everyone got to eat. It was spread out. The 2 people who are in this episode the least. I don't know about the numbers, what that'll end up to. In my head, though, it's Cam, and who's not getting in much, and
Yeah,
it's Andrew Dismukes. But Dismukes is a top 5 sketch getter.
even kind of
Coming into this
a
week.
low Padilla week, honestly.
Ashley used a little yes, but she's like like this is the thing is everyone can do a little bit of everything, and that's what it's just so different. Maybe it's because you have 20 people on the cast and it's not 6, and it's like, oh, Phil Hartman is this in this sketch. It's a very refreshing thing about the show to me. Keenan got to shine a little more than he
Yeah,
has, but what's kind of wild, and I was thinking about this, is like, imagine like how many Bowen reps would have been this week. Like it is kind of like we kind of forget that he just left halfway through the season as
yeah. That
a
feels like a lifetime
critical
ago.
piece of the show, and they're just humming along, and they're humming along, and this is not a shot at any of the people who have left, but like I thought Heidi and Ego leaving was going to be detrimental, and they're just kind of rolling, and I really like it. And so the writers deserve a lot of credit, of course, and but the booking department too. They've booked a lot of sure shots this year, very few
Yeah,
question marks, and we get a sure shot coming with Jack Black and Jack White. I believe Jack Black and
I think
Jack
it's 5.
White. This is 5 for Jack Black. Jack White, it might be 2. Was Jack Black and Jack White on Celebrity Deathmatch? I think
Ooh,
they were way back in the day. Yes, they were. So this is
that's
why I love
incredible.
this. This when I saw the announcement, I was like, yes, amazing. I'm just pretty hyped
You know
about that too.
what's really interesting on the timing of it? It popped in my head the other day, and I just went and listened to it, and then it sent me down a rabbit hole for the rest of it. But the Tenacious D album for the movie, the Pick of Destiny movie,
Mm-hmm.
there's a song in there called History, and it's like a
Yeah.
2-minute song. It's so good, and I listened to it maybe 3, 4 times in the past week ahead of the announcement. So I was just like very excited. I don't know if I should save it for the next one. I met Jack Black, and
What?
it was absolutely wonderful. It was wonderful.
At Kimmel?
I'll no, I'll do this quick. So, buddy of mine texts me and he says, "Hey, I got an invite to Eric Andre's birthday party. Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." I don't. What does that mean? Like, what's going to happen? So,
Yeah,
a
am I gonna
friend of
get pranked?
mine, yeah, a friend of mine took classes with Eric Andre at UCB way, way back in the day. And then I think they were just like kind of in a group chat, or when you're in one of those, occasionally everybody like shares their emails, like, "Hey, let's keep in touch." Blah blah blah. He kind of just kept up with Eric Andre over the years. And Eric Andre always has a big, I don't know if he does it anymore, but he has a big, like kind of crazy birthday party. And he had it at this place in Silver Lake. He like rented out this bar. There was a back area. I met Tim Robinson there, Brooks Wheelan there. It was like a crazy, this is a very name droppy story, but it was like a crazy, like carnival. He just set up like a carnival. Like there's dudes on stilts, there's clowns, there's like a DJ. It's like
Amazing.
and it's all day. It's all day and it goes into the night. Um, I'm with some friends, and I went and talked to Tim. I bought Tim Robinson and Brooks Wheelan 2 Bud Lights because it was a cash only bar outside, and they tried to play with cards. They got turned away, and I had a 20 on me, and I was like, "I'm gonna need those 2 beers, please." And so I bought them beers, and I got to like give them both their flowers because Tim isn't Tim yet. Tim is not
Yeah.
Detroiters Tim. Tim does not have I Think You Should Leave yet. This is strictly coming from I loved him on SNL, and Brooks as well is just great. And my buddy came with me for that. I was like, I'm going to go say hi to them. Jack Black walks in to the party. And my friend loves Jack Black. I mean, we all do. But he's like, I got to say hi. Because it's one of those where you're like, do I do it? Like, it's a party, you
Trying
know.
to be cool.
Trying to be cool. And I'm like, I mean, I want to meet Jack Black. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. We go out to him. Jack Black brings Eric Andre a birthday present that is wrapped up in like a Spider-Man bag, like a bag that you would give like a kid who's having a Spider-Man birthday party. So like already great. My friend taps Jack Black on the shoulder. He turns in such a way that it was like there was no one else in the room. And we had the most lovely conversation with Jack Black. My friend leaned first and was just like, "I'm so sorry, I don't want to do this. I know you just walked in, big fan." I like can't even remember what their conversation was. Then Jack Black turns to me and it's like this is where I like truly believe he's a gem of a person. He gave me like so much direct eye contact, and, like full attention. It's like, "Hi, I'm Jack." Like introduced, like obviously I know who you are. And I was just like not prepared for him to be just so unbelievably warm. And I just was like, told him how much I loved School of Rock. And then he was like, "Oh my God, I love making that film. Like, those kids are so great, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. You guys having a good time at the party." And then we like parted ways. But occasionally my buddy and I will text each other about like, "Hey, remember when we met Jack Black?" And it was just like,
holy crap.
It was great. Like, he was just
Amazing.
so lovely. And like everything he does is so funny. I don't think he's done anything that like I haven't enjoyed. I love that he's Bowser. I love that he did like a Goosebumps movie. Like he does these movies for kids. Tropic Thunder, Orange County, School of Rock, Saving Silverman. Like everything Jack Black does is great. This was a big topic last year. It was like, did he host the greatest SNL episode of all time? Back in the day, you know, and he had like a bit of a 10-year gap. I'm thrilled he's back. I think
it was a 20-year gap.
It was, yeah. If we get into predictions, so
yeah,
5-timers.
Yes.
I think we get Paul Rudd.
By the way, shout out to in the chat, Shaq Black telling us Jack White got the 5-timer jacket on the Woody Harrelson episode. But my memory is that it's 4 as Jack White and 1 is the White Stripes.
1 is the White Stripes.
So this is it's kind of Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac getting the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's kind of one of those questions.
I think we get Paul Rudd. I think we get
Melissa McCarthy's been around lately.
This weekend is the first SNL UK.
Well, yeah, hold on. Can you hold? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, hold on that. But
I got a couple
my
questions.
thought there is like, do we get Tina
Yeah.
which like there's a gap. So Tina lives in New York. She probably comes back. There's Melissa. There's Scarlett. Do you
Yeah.
get Steve? Alec? We haven't seen Alec Baldwin in a very long time.
I could see Alec for sure.
And do we get Tenacious D? They
I
had a
hope
falling
so, but
out.
well, they're still fine though. Did they have a falling out? Do we know that? Do you know that?
Well, it was over the Kyle made like an anti-Trump, like
But
Jack
they,
Black had like openly
yeah,
campaigned for the Biden administration. So like that's not a shocker there. And then Kyle did not make a pro-Trump comment. He made a pretty like anti-Trump comment. And then Jack like wasn't cool with it. It was like I think it was about like Trump dying or something at like
yeah.
a
He
concert.
said next time don't miss.
Yeah, it was about the assassination attempt or something. And like so I'm sure they're cool now, but I know that they like
Yeah,
had a bit of a falling out there. I don't think that's irreparable.
they haven't played a show since that date, so that's interesting. I figured it was just a thing where, like, hey, we just need to like cool down for a minute and just
Yeah,
not
we could take
be
it. I mean,
around.
everybody was like everybody was like it was a very hot time. Not that it's cooled down at all. But yeah, I was like, do we get some Tenacious D? Do we get Tenacious D with Jack White? Do we get Jack White with Jack Black?
That would be fun to play a little music together. You know, one of my last time Jack hosted last year, the bass. Remember the bass sketch? This is the week after the Morgan Wallen
Oh,
thing, and
yes.
take me to God's country and all that stuff,
Yeah.
or get me to God's country. But I love that the bass guitar bit. Now
Yeah, wasn't
Heidi,
there like 15 guitars? Yeah.
it ended up being a parade sketch. But Heidi coming out with the ridiculous fake boobs,
Giant fake boobs.
it was kind of her sketch though to be the star of at that point. But I thought that was fun. So if they did something like that with a different instrument, I think that'd be really fun. I like what you're saying, like on like listing all the people, like the 5-timers, because there's a bunch of options. Mulaney's usually around. Although we haven't seen much of him lately. I hope he's prepping his Netflix show. I hope they're bringing
I
that
think
back.
he's touring.
He's touring.
I think he's touring and doing because I almost went and saw him. I think he came through Dallas, and probably LA. But like, yeah, he was touring with like Nick Kroll.
Yeah,
I also think
he
we're
played
gonna
Grand
get
Prairie.
I think we're gonna get a Nick Kroll host in the future. I don't think this season.
Nick Kroll, really?
I think we get Nick Kroll at some point, and I think he would crush. I think he'd be so good.
Last year they did Everybody's Live with John Mulaney, the talk show, and it started in March. And here we are in mid-March, and no season 2 has been confirmed. So
I could see him just doing that whenever he wants. I think he's going to have especially the way Netflix is with comedy. To me, that seems like an open door invitation. And based on Richard Kind's schedule, like they have so much, like all of them are a part of Big Mouth, and all the Big Mouth spinoffs. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a very like full episode. We have a couple weeks off. You get to organize who is in town, who can be on it. He's hosting for Jumanji. I know they're shooting Jumanji.
Okay.
But like I don't know what he's hosting. Oh, it's for Mario.
Yeah, it's for Mario because Mario comes out that weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you run through all the Mario?
Donald
people?
Glover, Charlie Day, Chris Pratt. Okay, now a little fun time here.
Yeah. I mean, this episode, I don't want to put too much on it, but because I mean, Jack Black's going to deliver. If this is just Jack Black and like insert musical guests, like already going to be a great episode. 5-timers episode, like they tend to blow those sketches out in a big way.
Last thing I want to talk about real quick. It's getting late here. SNL UK starts this Saturday.
Tina Fey and Wet Leg.
Tina Fey and Wet Leg, pretty big band around here. Jamie Dornan. Well, first of all, when it was announced that it was Tina Fey, I was like, oh, they're doing it like this. I didn't realize. Jamie Dornan is the guy from 50 Shades of Grey, correct?
And one of my favorite movies ever, Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar.
Of course. Wolf Alice is the band for that one, and then the third episode, April 4th, Riz Ahmed uh,
Oh, that's great.
with Kazabian. Riz Ahmed is going to be in a show that comes out on March 25th. So yeah, coming up, called Bait. It's going to be on Amazon, and there's some early buzz about this show, and I haven't really talked to any of my friends about this, so it's a good place to talk about it real quick. Bait with Riz Ahmed. Just get it on your radar. Keep it there.
Because Riz Ahmed is great.
I don't think we'll do a podcast on SNL UK, but are we watching this
I mean, I'm watching it.
on the cock?
I have full intent of watching it. And I was like, I have a VPN that I use to watch UK stuff. I use it
Yeah.
to watch Steve Coogan,
Yes.
Alan Partridge content, which I think is the funniest shit ever. And then when my wife and I went over there, we got really into all the chat shows, which it's just panel shows with comedians doing like trivia, and essentially it's what it boils down to. And then we got really into Taskmaster as well. Taskmaster is available on YouTube. If you've never watched Taskmaster, if anyone listening to this has never watched Taskmaster, oh my God, watch Taskmaster. All available on YouTube. It's excellent. Go, even if you don't know people on it. Jason Mantzoukas did a recent season from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The League, and all that stuff. He's great. Kumail is doing a season coming up. Armando Iannucci, who was like the showrunner and creator of Veep and is just like a comedic genius. He's on Kumail's season as well. Taskmaster's perfect. British comedy is kind of like a bomb to me right now in these troubling times. So I was planning on finding a way to watch it anyway. Now I think it's going to be on the cock. And I assume Sunday morning.
Yeah, probably Sunday morning because they're going to be ahead of us, right?
I mean, I think
they're ahead of us by 6 or 7 hours.
I think we play it by ear and see what the accessibility of it is. I would love to watch. I mean, I'm going to watch them. I think we talk about them if we want to talk about them. Even if I think we talk about the first one. I think it depends on availability. When do we get it? Mm-hmm. Do they hold it? I don't think they do. I think what makes the most sense to me is they get this Peacock deal. I think they run them live as you would here. And then we wake up on Sunday morning, boom, they're available. I don't see a world where they hold it and then release it. Because, I just watched The Rise and Fall of Reggie Dinkins, which is also so funny, which is probably what Tina's promoting just because she's an SNL legend, but, that's her show right now.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched last week's episode. That's the way we tend to watch non-SNL shows and content is okay, it airs, then you put it on Hulu or whatever its streamer choice is, and you watch it the next day. I'm assuming that is what we get with SNL UK. I don't know, but I'm down. I did not know Jamie Dornan was episode 2. I just watched Barb and Star for maybe the 50th time last week.
You've seen that movie more than anyone has.
I've seen it so many times because when it came out in COVID and it was only available to rent, and we would rent it and watch it. And then it was like a 2-day, 3-day rental. And an hour before it would run out again, we'd be like, should we watch it again? And then we would watch it again. And then we would be like, oh man, I want to watch Barb and Star again. We'd rent it again and we would do the same thing over and over again. Then a friend of mine had a bootleg copy for me. We watched it, a bootleg version of it at an Airbnb at the beach. And then when it finally came up for purchase, we bought it. And it's easily the most money I've spent on a movie ever, since I've rented it multiple times and then I purchased it at least once.
I need to rewatch that. I haven't watched it since COVID. Yeah,
it's so good. It's a good rewatch, especially ahead of Jamie Dornan. We were watching it with our friend who she was like, every time I watch this, I just wish it was John Hamm, which I understand, but I think Jamie Dornan is so funny and good. And we knew at that point, we knew John Hamm could do funny. We knew that.
Of course.
We did not know Jamie Dornan could. And he crushes that movie. So that is very good news to me. I think Riz Ahmed has hosted SNL before.
Yes, he has once for the Sound of not the Sound of Music, Sound of Metal.
Oh, I thought it would have been kind of his big one with
Yeah,
the prison one in
the night of.
HBO. The night of, yes. Which that was the biggest deal. I don't remember anything that happens. I just
I
remember John
don't
Turturro
either.
had
It was
he
good.
had he had rashy feet.
Yeah, he had the foot thing. What was that called?
He had foot fungus and he had saran wrap.
Yeah, that
And
was real gross.
he had a real hard time, and he
The
was
old Mr.
allergic to
Deeds foot.
cats. Yeah, he was allergic to cats, and he had a cat or something. I don't
Kind of
remember what
great.
happened. I remember he was in jail, and Omar from The Wire was in there.
Yeah.
I remember a lot about that show. Couldn't tell you what happened.
No, it's like perfect length, 6 to 8 episodes, HBO, then move it on down the road. All right, dude. Fun
I'm
episode.
excited for it.
We're grooving. We'll find out if they're gonna do like either 3. There's 5 episodes left. So they're either gonna do 2 in April and 3 in May, or 3 in April, 2 in May.
And I'll tell you what, just kind of looking ahead. So we do the SNL draft. I think Kent has it. Friend of the show, friend of the pod. Because I think he's got 2 humdingers because he got Jack Black. I think he's going to get Matt Damon. I think they close with Matt Damon for the Odyssey. And then I also think she's been quiet lately, and I don't know, it might not happen because she toured the album and she's not like promoting a new album, but like I just had a feeling Dua Lipa was due. Maybe not. Maybe Dua Lipa does stuff over there at SNL UK. But like his Dua Lipa and Matt Damon, I was like, that has the recipe of a finale to me.
Well, yeah, if he's got super pick for Dua Lipa. I mean, the other one that he has as a super pick is Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks
at Toy Story 5.
Oh yeah.
Jack Quaid for Christina could get her 2 points for The Boys. Looking at yours, Aziz and Charles Barkley. I think you were going for the good fortune card with Aziz.
I was very much going for the good fortune. Charles Barkley, I was going for Charles Barkley sitting on 4. Mm-hmm. And but I misplayed that because he's not going to do it anytime around now because he does all that college basketball coverage. He might do it later. My thought was like NBA is back on NBC, but like he's not a part of NBC. I saw a thing right before we hopped on. I saw a thing on Reddit, which this would be interesting because I have Andy Samberg on there too. There is a Lonely Island rumor that Lonely Island is going to host.
Wow.
Which that would be great, but also,
yeah.
Could they all do it at the same time? I think you get Andy hosting and they do a digital short.
Make Lonely Island the musical guest.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It'd be great.
Yeah, I think that's one of those rumors that's almost like too good to be true for SNL fans.
But like, would I get a point? Because I have Andy. I don't have Lonely Island.
Yeah, that's the tough thing about like Mike Soroy picking Joe Keery. Does he get a point for the band Joe? DJO? Yeah. So I don't know.
And I think that for that one, that ship has sailed because if the Stranger Things, unless he drops another album. But we have an interesting stretch here at the end. I think Kent's going to win it. I think if he hits Dua Lipa, if he hits on that, that's a lot of points.
This Jack Black point could have been the difference in all of it, but 5 episodes left. We will be back in April to take a look at the Jack Black, Jack White episode.
Maybe sooner.
Sooner.
Talk about Across the Pond.
We'll find out.
I'm very excited for it because, again, I'm a big fan of British comedy. The podcasts I listen to are British. It all stems from Taskmaster. I have a group of friends, like we all love Taskmaster. We do a Taskmaster like get together in the summer every year. I think there's maybe one person because Taskmaster skews older to they have like maybe a couple youngins in there, but they're mostly comics that like we haven't seen yet. We, the general public, but we as even like I haven't seen yet. And I like to watch a lot of the British stuff. Like I have a nice niche group of like British comics that I really like that I've seen, periodically through stuff that like I first saw them on Taskmaster. I don't have any gauge of like any of the actors on this. I think maybe there's a writer who was on Taskmaster at one point, but I think we're going to get some really, really good comedy over there. And I think there's potential for this to be really strong
Yeah.
and have high turnover just because they don't stick around to do stuff long over
Yeah.
there.
That's the whole thing. I haven't really dug in too much even to the cast that they chose. So
I'm kind
that's
of
something I
just
need to
going
look
in
at.
like I saw the pictures of them and I was like, all right, let's hit
Just
it.
go in blind. It'll be more fun.
Yeah.
We'll check it out on the cock.
On the cock.
All right, Jesse. Thank you. At Jesse Kubanet, probably on social media.
Yeah. Mostly on Instagram. I'm on the other ones, but I'm not really doing anything on there.
Do I have any writing to plug?
Not right now. Nothing coming out. I had something go up on Hard Times News. I started writing for them recently. That stuff will come out sporadically. I'll always share it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always working on stuff. What'll happen is I have nothing to plug right now, but we're about to go on a break, so I'll probably get something big published while we're gone, and I won't have anywhere to plug it.
Well, maybe we'll talk about it after we review SNL UK.
That's true.
All right. There for Jesse. I'm Kevin. Thank you all for joining us. Give us a good review. You know, a little thumb up, a little star, whatever it is that you got to do. Maybe tell a friend.
Share it.
Share it. It's social. Everyone share. And I'll share your stuff as long as it's not like illegal.
Yeah.
You know. So let us know. For Jesse, I'm Kevin. We'll see you next time on the After Party. Goodbye.